Hey, what's going on, guys? For however few of you are actually in here. Give me 1 second. I think my Mozilla just crashed on me because it wasn't responding for a while. Let's get the music back. Goes around there. Can we do this without you crashing on my ass? We good, boys. We good. I like how the Azure Lane directory on Twitch says that I had 12 viewers, and then looking at my current viewer count on Twitch, it got halved, and it's now at 6. Guaranteed those are FGO fuckers. Just popping in like, oh hey, 2 streaming. Oh, he's streaming something else. Alright, bye. Alright then, keep your secrets. Anyways, how are the rest of you doing? The boat legend himself. I would hesitate to call myself the boat legend. I don't even know how much I'm even known in the Azure Lane community. Like, I made literally 1 video and that's it. So I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, I make Azure Lane videos. Hey, Type Pencil, welcome back. Still recovering from not rolling Osaka. Oof. Well, you'll make it out of there eventually, and if nothing else, she's permanent. So. Kinda want to start playing Azure Lane. Well, give it a shot. See if you like it. No harm in you know, just trying something out, right? If you don't like it, you can always quit. Just at least try it, give it a shot first. See if it's something that's up your alley, I guess. Do limiteds come back? They do. The problem is that reruns are, well, for a time, for the majority of this year, reruns were very rare. They're not exactly telegraphed like FGO NA is. So you don't really know when they're gonna rerun something. Like, to a certain extent, because technically JP and Chinese Azure Lane servers, and I guess by that extent the Korean server too, they're all a certain degree ahead of NA, but it's weird because partway through, Yostar / Manju, who are the companies responsible for this game, they decide like, hey, since the NA server's up and running now, we should probably give them the same stuff too, as the ones we're giving JP and NA, or JP and CN and KR. So that creates a bit of a weird situation, from what I understand, where we have some content that we share with the other servers, but not all of it. So, and we're still in the middle of trying to catch up to them, content-wise. So that creates this weird situation where we know that there are going to be reruns of certain events. I mean, this event that we're playing right now is a rerun, so that should answer your question right there. But at the same time, we just don't know when. That being said, though, a lot of people were like, you know, oh, I just started playing this game recently. When are you gonna rerun this event? When are you gonna rerun that event? And enough people were talking like that on Discord or social media or wherever you want to go, and to the point where Azure Lane NA Twitter was like, okay, then it's good, because we've been getting so many people asking for like rerun stuff and you know, and all that stuff. We're gonna start rerunning some events here, starting with this one, Divergent Chessboard. At least that's from what I understand. So shit, I didn't mean to deploy my fleet too. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Does that? So yeah, just to answer your question, yes, we do get this event. This game does get reruns too. But by this point, we've already had a few reruns, so yeah. Some things you may have missed. Actually, VDeer was our very first rerun event, and by this point, the boats from that event are now part of permanent gacha. So there's no real loss there by this point. So, like, the only ones that you should really worry about are the collaboration events, where those, God knows if we'll get those again. Osaka's gonna be permanent? Well, yeah, now she is. At least after Halloween, so. This event is a rerun, but it gives us 2 new subs. That's been a recurring theme for Azure Lane reruns, where it's like, oh, it's a rerun, but here's some new content on top of that. I mean, technically, I still consider it a rerun because the main content, which is the event maps and such, are more or less the same, but they just, you know, give us, you know, here's a new boat to roll for now. Oh, here's somebody, you know, here's some new stuff to farm or something like that. So I still consider it a rerun personally. FGO needs to do something similar. I didn't read your first question properly, and I just noticed you said and they F off after and they F off afterwards once after their rerun. I mean, Azure Lane hasn't had a rerun, if that's what you're asking. So I don't know. If that's what you're asking, and can't really help you there. What's this game called? The game in the game that's, you know, the one that's bigger on the screen, it's called Azure Lane. The one in the bottom left is called Girls Frontline. Can you just become a Pega and get all the waifus you want for free? Technically, yes. Technically. There's a big fucking asterisk somewhere in there, though. Do you play on your phone or only on iPad? For these games that I'm playing right now on stream, on both, actually. If I'm at work and I can sneak in some farming time here or there, I play on my phone. If I'm at home like I am now, and you know, I have access to my PC and my tablet, then I'll play it on there. If I want to, of course. Funny how DW made Saber Wars 2 after your videos on MHX and MHXA. I mean, I didn't ask for this power, so I will say that much. Hey, thanks, Quaz. Glad you enjoyed. Back in QP hell again. Don't worry. I'm already down to around 500 million QP. Hey Nightmare, welcome back, man. Just in time to watch me farm some boats. I heard MHX is the only servant whose whole kit got buffed. Technically not true. MHX's third skill has not received the buff yet, unless with Saber Wars 2, she got a buff to that too. DW has never buffed the same skill twice. They've only ever buffed one skill once. And they've only ever buffed NPs, NP damage scalings, or just NPs in general once too. They've never buffed an NP twice. So unless Saber Wars gave MHX a final buff to her third skill, technically MHX did not get her whole kit buffed. She got her first skill buffed, so now she has an instant defense, the 20% defense debuff on all enemies, and then with the stun after the AoE stun afterwards. So they buffed that. They buffed her second skill by turning her by converting her instinct into an invul and a better instinct on top of that. So at least she has a level of hard defense for herself, as useful as that'll get. They buffed her MP, so she has better better MP scaling with that. But they haven't buffed her third skill, unless, of course, like I said, Saber Wars 2 gave her one for that. Okay, so they did buff her third skill. I was wondering why people were talking about how MHX had an attack buff now in Discord, so that's why I was prefacing all that with unless they buffed her with Saber Wars, because I didn't see it on the wiki yet when I checked yesterday. Maybe it's there now, but when I checked the wiki yesterday, they haven't listed it yet. So that's why I was saying, oh, they haven't buffed her skill yet. So yeah, in that case, then yeah, MHX is now probably one of the only, if not the only server who has literally her entire kit buffed. Will it still make her viable? We'll see. Only 500 million? I mean, this is coming from a guy who, like 2 months ago, or just about, like not even 2 months ago, was at literal QP cap at 999,999,999. So, yeah. To me, I did spend a lot of QP. And perhaps you'll agree. So, as far as I'm concerned, throwing half my QP cap amount out the window for shit is certainly not a small investment, that's for sure. Though, to be fair, I still do have a lot in compared to others. Your thoughts about Space Ishtar? Well, I'm not sure what to think that she got the comma treatment again. Or not again, but you know. But I mean, hey, it's Ishtar, I guess. Fancy seeing you stream this early. Yeah, this isn't usually... well, it used to be. This sort of time used to be when I used to stream or start streaming normally, but lately I've been streaming later and later into the day. For me here in the West Coast anyway. Just because work's just been getting busier and busier for me. Today's one of those rare days where it seems like I actually have time to stream early, you know, quote unquote earlier. No, I haven't been watching anime for the past like 2 or 3 years, with the exception of the Fate ones like UBW and Fate Zero and Ilia. Which servants do you think MHX treatment need the MHX treatment the most? Well, to start with, let's go with Geronimo. What kind of fucking skills are those? I mean, I've had people tell me that, oh, Geronimo's the highest DPS 3-star caster in the game. Well, I mean, that's great and all, but are you going to use Geronimo still? I didn't think so. Probably not, right? Can change MP card type. It would be more of a big deal if that were on somebody else other than an Avenger. I mean, I guess it gives her a little bit more flexibility, but class advantage and the fact that you do fucking double damage against the people you have an advantage against is pretty fucking strong. So, as much of a neat gimmick as it is, which I kind of actually called, because I did, in my, I don't know how many of you guys watched my Toho Grand Order videos where I theory craft potential FGO style servant profiles for Toho characters, but when I was drafting, who was it? Yukari's kit? What did I give Yukari, by the way? I'm gonna actually look it up on my own here. Because I know I gave her some gimmicky ass shit. Let's see. Wow. Perfect YouTube. Let's see what this is. Sniper 98. What was it? Yeah, it was this one. What did I give Yukari? Because I know I gave Yukari some jank ass shit, like I said. Oh yeah, I gave Yukari's for her third skill. I gave her the ability to swap out her command deck to any of her choice, but her MP type was the one that didn't change. So I in a really inverted way, I actually called this mechanic to be released in FGO at some point. I just called it fucking a year early or some shit. Yeah, pretty much a year earlier. Because I did the opposite, where instead of having a flexible MP type, I made it so that Yukari had a flexible command deck itself, and not and with a static MP type, which was Buster. I think it was Buster anyway. Oh yeah, and I also gave her the ability to choose between either having an AoE or single target MP, which is fucking broken. So yeah, I guess it's really cool to finally see something like a mechanic like that in FGO now. But again, kind of sucks that it's on an Avenger and not anybody else. Then again, if it were on anybody else, it would probably be abused the hell out of that. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Geronimo is definitely not better than Welfareless if we talk about AoE DPS. Perhaps not, but keep in mind, Ikrim, I specifically said Geronimo is the highest DPS 3-star caster. Not like comparing them to welfare servants, because obviously welfare servants have better stats than 3 stars. Well, in most cases anyway, unless your name is Saber Lily. Can you make the volume lower, please? Yes, I can do that. Which is why I lowered it even more earlier. Isn't Ishtar like 20% battery per turn for 3 turns and like 50% battery? Something like that. I know she still has her 50% battery as her third skill. She might have more on top of that. But again, she's an Avenger, so what the fuck does that matter? I'm sure people might find like something to fucking make bullshit about, but until then. Yeah, at least you got U47 JCD. I went from like 296 cubes down to like 170 or less with Z76 and or Z46. Well, who was it? Yeah, Z46 and Graph copies. And those two were the only 2 SSRs I ever got. I didn't even get a spook. Helena is underrated. I don't know if I agree with that, because basically all the tier lists that I've seen have Helena as top tier light cruisers, so I don't know if it's accurate to call her underrated, but I do love her to death. She's been with me literally ever since day 1. And she is a beast, yes, I agree. Hey RMS, welcome back. Gave her a Butterfingers than Babe Ruth. She looks at it and says, Skittles are your favorite candy, walks off in a huff. Damn, bruh. tough world out there, man. Kind of makes you lose faith in humanity now that we know kids like that are roaming the streets. Let me tell you, she'll grow up to be a fine a fine Twitter user one day. Might as well start them early, right? Give her a phone, give her a smartphone in like 2 years. Teach her what Twitter is. There you go. World's headed down to hell and back. Might as well help it along. Might as well watch the world burn. Her ascension forms are really cool. Yeah, but again, they gave her the Kama treatment of having, what was it, 3 unique sprites and whatnot. And I don't know about the sprites. I don't know if they changed her animations within each sprite, but for sure her ascension stage arts are different. So that's got to count for something, right? Let's see. I need 5 more. Okay, yeah. We're just gonna fucking rush boss fleet every time. Fuck this. It's a weird looking Media Lily you got there. Which one? Which one are you talking about? There's a lot of them. Your AL luck has recently been like, alright, I'm gonna head out. It's been fluctuating for me personally. I've had some pretty below average luck for the past couple of banners, but with Mikasa and Hiei, I got all the new ones within like literally 1 or 2 rolls. I got Mikasa very first 10 rolls, so that banner was very blessed for me. But now with this one, earlier this morning when the first servers first went live, I dumped like 120 cubes, and I got both of the SSRs except the one I wanted, which is U47. I'm just like, fuck. Didn't even get any spooks. No spooks either. Just Z46 and Groff. It's like, oh shit. But where's my U47 though? I wanted to ask you, as a new FGO free-to-play player, what 5-star starting should you save for in farm events more easily? Waiver? Do you have waiver? No? Try to get him. No, but seriously, you want to get waiver. I might be like giggling and meaning about this, but it's a meme for a reason. Waiver is pretty damn good because you use him literally everywhere. Because all of his skills have charge. His third skill is a 30% attack buff, and yeah, you don't really get much better than that. Now that might change with next summer, in which case, once Scotty comes out, maybe it will be like, oh, you should probably try picking up Scotty when she's available, because she literally doesn't come back for another 2 years. Fortunately, waiver is permanent, so you do always have a chance to get spooked by him, unless you're rolling on a gacha that specifically doesn't have waiver because of some, restriction or something. Like during Valentine's banners with the waifus on it, you can't roll male swords, that's for sure. So, Helena is not a lolly. The fuck? What kind of fucking degenerate thinks Helena is a lolly? Who the fuck? Those must be the same kind of people who think, oh, flat-chested must be a lolly. Get the fuck out of here with that kind of logic, bro. Clearly, you need to get out some more. Scotty never did get a second rib. Yeah, which is why I said, which is kind of why I said Scotty basically won't come back for another 2 years at the very least. U47 is apparently a very powerful sub. Yeah, she's top tier. She's top tier. Her skills make her basically the only sub you want to use solo. And not only that, she also has you can use her as a as part of a German sub fleet if you want to, if you want to use her as such. Though she's better off as a solo, from what I understand. Scotty's second banner waiting room. Her second banner, mark my words. Scotty's second banner is gonna be on NA. Gonna be on NA, boys. Lolly in your book. Oh, you're talking about Helena Caster in FGO. I thought y'all were talking about fucking Helena in Azurelane because I'm using her right now. Sucks playing multiple games and you have to try to figure out what your fucking chat's talking about. This is a hard game to get into. Which one, Azurelane or Girls Frontline? Either way, it's not hard, but stabilizing your account is the tough part. It's like CS:GO. You can pick it up easily, and you can start playing it easily. And you can get the general gist of what you need to do in that game pretty easily. But actually mastering the game and then developing the skills in order to play it at a somewhat competitive level to make the game fun is the tough part. And it's the same it's the same way for these games. I'm watching the stream while driving. Please don't. I would prefer you to turn off the stream and then wait until you get home or wherever you need to, and then turn the stream back on. Or at the very least, and this is what I've done before, so for what it's worth, at the very least, if you must have my stream on, at the very least, don't watch it, just listen to it. Just treat the stream as some kind of podcast. Because I've done that before, where I've wanted to watch Street Fighter tournaments or like tournaments of some game, but I need to head out somewhere, so I put it on my phone on my Twitch app, and then I just set it on my cup holder or something, or on the shotgun seat, and I'd hook it up to I just hook it up to Bluetooth, and I just listen to the stream through the car stereo. But don't watch the fucking stream while you're driving, you dumbass. Girls Frontline is grindy as hell. Yes, to a certain degree. Both of these games are grindfest, to be honest. I mean, what mobile game isn't? There might be one out there that isn't as grind-intensive as some of the others, but as far as I'm concerned, all these games are grindy to a fair degree. You meant listening? Okay. Well, I sure hope you meant listening, because, sure hope you did. Does Bismarck buff subs? That's a good question, I don't know. Her skills should specify, though. Because it should specify, front, Vanguard, or main fleet, or whatever. But then again, if it says literally all German boats, it's like, well, maybe subs too, I guess. Glad to see Amagi in more loading screens. I mean, the fact that she won the voting contest certainly helps, which I'm actually very glad about, or I'm actually very glad to see. What is the best way to farm XP for priority boats? You're farming St. Louis. What you want to do for PR boats is, so for St. Louis, it's the American cruisers, right? Ideally, take American cruisers and then stack them in your front line for one fleet, and then go farm like one of the later maps, like chapter 10, 9, 10, 11, or 12. Because the higher chapter you go in this game for your story chapters, the more XP they give. So naturally, that means that the faster you want to farm XP for, or I guess, well, faster is up to interpretation. So I guess just for a general term, if you want to be more efficient in your PR grinding, ideally you want to go to as high of a story chapter as you can go that's within your farming ability, and then sack one fleet with in your case, since you're farming for St. Louis, all American cruisers. I believe the cruisers I used to farm for St. Louis were Helena, who I nicknamed Samidare. Who is it? Who else? Why am I forgetting her name? Cleveland, and who was that third one again? I'm forgetting who I used as my third. Maybe Minnie? Maybe Minnie? I think it was Minnie. Yeah. Cause I know for sure I had Minnie, but at the time I was farming for St. Louis. All three of those count because they're all cruisers. It doesn't matter if they're like light or heavy. I don't think anyway. Ideally, since Helena and Cleveland are both top-tier cruisers, you want to use those two if you have them. They're both permanent, so you may have them anyway. So go use them. I've actually found that the American St. Louis, this one right here, the American St. Louis, and Lulu are both very good. Actually, they're both really great DPSs. I don't know how where they are in their tier list. I think they're like tier T4, I think, in terms of the meta, but they're both really good, in my opinion anyway. But then again, maybe it's just because I married them both. So yeah, those two are good, except the problem with those two are that you need to farm for them, so you might not have them. So yeah, take all American cruisers, put them in like one fleet, and then maybe if you have more American cruisers, like who else is there? Monty. I know Monty's in here somewhere. Where is she? Where the fuck is Monty? Oh, there she is, right here. Take Monty. Who else? There's got to be more American cruisers. Other than Monty. Monty in Indianapolis. Indy. What's her fucking Yuri sister's name? Portland. Those two. So yeah, Portland, Wichita. I think Wichita's American, right? Wichita. Is there anybody else? There's gotta be more. Yeah, any of the lollies, Lena, Cleve Lad, or Cleve Bro, I guess is I think her more popular nickname. Lil Sandy, Belchan, just anybody of those, and then just throw them into your farming fleets, and just farm for that, farm for them that way, and then try to go as high as you can in terms of story chapters. Not only that, but what you want to do on top of that is you want to put them in your dorm. So dorm rooms, both the first and second floor, they increase your morale for anybody, or they technically what they do is they quickly replenish or they boost the morale regeneration rate of anyone who you have in there. But what it also does is it overcaps your boats' morale meters. So the default morale cap for any boat, if you just leave them alone and they're not in your dorms, is 119. I believe that's their value. So max morale for any ship who's not in either of your dorms is 119. However, your morale can go up to 150, I believe, is the max, is the upper cap for morale for any boat. So, and the only way you can reach that is by putting your boats in dorm, either your first floor or your second floor. It doesn't matter which. So that way, what happens then is, as long as your boat has over 119 morale, they get additional XP. They get a boost in XP for as long as they're over 119 morale. So, and because your dorms are always regenerate your boats' morale. So assuming you have a boat who's been in dorm for a while, so they're at 150 morale, right? And you start using them to farm XP or whatever, they go for a very long time at max morale because as you're farming, your dorm is constantly replenishing their morale at the same time. So you can go for literal hours for them while they're over 119 morale and keep getting additional XP that way. So, yeah, just to recap, you want to put your farming boats in dorm so that they get more morale and thus more XP while you grind for them, and you want to stack three of them in a fleet so you get as much XP as possible per run. And what else? And you want to farm like some of the higher story chapters that give you more XP. Also, one last tip is that since MVP, when you finish a fight, the game gives MVP status to one boat who did the most damage. So ideally, oh, and before that, I should also mention MVP status gives additional XP for that boat, whoever became MVP. So max optimization for this is have your farming boats in dorm, farm story chapters, put as many of them into one fleet as possible, and make sure that at least one of them gets MVP status. So have like a weak backline, but a very strong front line, in other words. Ideally, your front line should all be cruisers anyway, so just make sure to have a more of a support backline than a DPS backline. And that way, you should see your XP gain just go through the fucking roof. It'll still take you a while though, but those are the things that you can do to maximize XP gain. So that's what I ended up doing for all of my PR boats, and worked out pretty well. What did we need to do again? Right, we need to clear this for a full clear, and we can go on to a hard mode after this. Mordred, does she have a cute belly button? No, but she does have some nuclear weapon grade thighs. Is that a collab? No, all the married. In Azure Lane is one of the only games that I know where you can physically rename your boats or your units. And you can only do that when you marry them. So I tend to give my boats some very memey names because that's, you know me. For those of you who aren't new around these parts, you should probably seen that coming. Alright, Aragon. We'll see you in a little bit. Assume I'm still streaming by then. But have a good dinner. Have a good dinner, man. We'll see you in what? Or yeah, we'll see you in a bit. Go on, sorry, and in the dorm at the same time. Pretty broken mechanics. Well, broken or not, it's something you can do. So. Do I care? No. Well, I mean, in a way, yes, I do care. But I don't know why you would call that broken. It's just something you can do. Is it worth rolling the banners you have right now? If you think it's worth it, sure. I mean, just think of it this way. We got a free Kets banner, and Kets has only ever had like what, maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 raid-ups ever. So the Babylonia campaign thing is a free Kets raid-up that NA Clairvoyance couldn't predict. So there's a free Kets banner for you. Oh, and also another Enkidu raid-up. So there's that. So if we're just looking at it from a perspective of like history of servant raid-ups, then yeah, this is absolutely worth it to roll for, because just off the virtue that Kets, who normally doesn't have a lot of raid-ups, gets another raid-up for free. Yeah, it's just effective use of resources. Yeah, that's all it is. Because if it were broken, that means it's probably not intended, right? And if it weren't intended, then the devs would have done something about it, but they haven't, so. When's the boat reviews? I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know enough about this game to where, I don't know about this game to that intricate of a level to where I would feel confident about, you know, making videos on like individual boats and shit. And besides, people already do that anyway. Second floor seems to be more effective for morale regeneration. I don't think there's a difference. I could be wrong, but as far as I'm aware, there's no difference in a morale regeneration rate. You know, depending on like either floor that you use. The only difference between those floors, from as far as I'm aware, is the fact that only the first floor gives your boats additional XP gain, whereas second floor doesn't. Second floor is only for morale regeneration. Is she good? Who? Kets? She's a solid DPS DPS rider, and she's a burst critter too. She's very useful for farming because she's got the best charisma in the game. She has a targetable 30% buster buff for 1 turn, and she has her own 30% charge. So, in case there's a node where you need a single target rider, Kets is a solid choice for that. And she's just hilarious to use as a crit rider too. Is content worth playing? No. Love the characters. That's how I got started on or that's how I got inspired to play Azure Lane. But gameplay, I don't know about that one, Chief. I will say that I haven't played the game, so maybe I'm not qualified to talk about it. But from what I've heard and from what I've seen, oof, that game. Definitely outdated, let's just say. What node does Deutschland drop? I don't know actually. It's one of the nodes. Probably like maybe B3 or something. I don't know. I forget. Because I know B4 and D4 dropped Z46. So maybe B3 and C3 drop. Or no, B3 and D3 drop Deutschland. I don't know. She's hella cute, and she will suplex you into the fucking dirt. It's claimed that first Adoran gives XP and some morale, while second is a lot of morale. Okay, alright. So it's not just so it is a little bit of a theory. I'm sure people could calculate that for sure and find out for sure if that were the case. So I guess yeah, maybe, and if that is the case, then I guess yeah, just put your farming boats in the second floor. Just stick to FGO, lol. Yeah. From what I hear about Kantai's gameplay, it's literally all RNG. Literally all RNG. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, when you try to... So, like, in this game, in Azure Lane, since it's also a boat game, you know, you can choose to you can choose where you want your fleets to go. Like, for example, I want to attack this fleet up here, this small fleet up here, the 3-star small fleet. So since I want my hood fleet my first fleet to go attack, I just tap on that button or that fleet, and they'll sail over there, and then you know I can start battle. There's no RNG about that unless you count like ambushes or something. But in Kantai, from what I'm aware, you don't know where you're going. Like, you can select the map you want to go to, I think, but each map has an individual node or like a set of nodes, right, that your fleet needs to traverse through in order to get to the boss fleet or something. You don't choose which node they go to. I think like the compass fairy or some shit like that decides where you're gonna go for some bizarre reason. Like, okay, sure, let's just fucking... Jesus, take the fucking wheel, I guess. but apparently that's how they do it. Also, gameplay is also terribly RNG too, I think. A lot of things about that game are come off as like an extremely RNG, and I'm not really a fan of that. Fan of the characters though, love the characters, just not the gameplay. Torn between getting Minecraft or buying quartz. Probably get Minecraft because how much is Minecraft? I think it's $25. I actually bought it recently myself too. $25 isn't really gonna get you much in FGO. I'm just being straight up real with you. Probably isn't. Probably ain't gonna get you much, my dude. Might as well just get Minecraft by that point. Why not let you control your own route? Because fuck you. When's the Minecraft stream? Hilariously enough, I've considered streaming Minecraft. I think I can too. Well, I should be able to. Don't know why I should be. I already have a Sharn host that. How do you pronounce her name again? I don't know how to pronounce German. I don't know. I don't even want to attempt to pronounce her sister's name. I think that's her sister, right? But Sharn host, I don't know how to pronounce that properly. So I'd rather not even attempt it because I know I'm gonna fucking embarrass myself. Still, I can claim one more. Cool. But yeah, I already have her max limit broken, so I guess I can just retire that copy. I guess. Yeah, but. Anyways, next up, where do we need to go after this? Take me to the event map. Take me to your leader. Alright, we go to hard mode now. Stage not yet. I wonder if EX stage is like the previous EX stages where we get like, we can run them once and then we get a ton of points from them. I guess I'm gonna have to rush through these hard mode maps in order to find out. But, okay. Light cruiser, let's take Siri. Let's take Taiho, and then who else do we want to bring here? Let's take Hood, and okay, yeah, we can still do this. And before hard mode fucking wrecks my fleets. Yeah, B1, B4, C4, and D1 and D4. Okay, then not any of the three maps. So. Is it impossible to maintain a collection in storage for boats? What do you mean by that, Yorha? Yeah, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while. I don't think so, anyway. I don't remember. Who's your subfleet now that U47's out? Currently, currently the subfleet that I have in use right now are U101, Iroha, who's aka Nero sub, and what's her name? Iku. I'm using those three right now because those three were the ones that happened to level up, and I have all their skills max leveled, and they're all equipped with like gold torps by this point. So, yeah, I guess I'll just keep using those. I want to work on leveling up an all German fleet for you know, basic for just German sub memes. But that's the next thing sub wise I wanna work on. So, and since U47 is ideally best used as a solo sub, I can just solo her and then take the other 3 gold subs that I'm using as their own little fleet. Though, to be fair, in that kind of a fleet, U101's Wolfpack tactics are pretty much useless, because the other subs in their fleet are Japanese, not German. So. How much better is 120 than 115? I don't know, actually. Yeah, I'm not the best person to ask for that, or I'm not the best person to ask about that. Obviously, I'm sure it'll make a difference, but for like exact like concrete like numbers or something, or like or anecdotal evidence, like I can't really offer much. I will say though that going from level 115 to 120. Even before her retrofit, Sandy became a lot tankier, from what I've noticed. Like, I think back during the Kizuna Eye collab on like was it C3? The last hard mode node. That was the best farming node, because it gave you the most points per run. I could actually send in just a fleet of Amagi and Sandy, level 120 Sandy by themselves, and they could beat that node for me. Where before, if Sandy weren't 120, I don't think she could have done it. So I will say that much. But anything else, I don't really know. How are you supposed to do the Babylonian Master missions if you're stuck in Camelot? You don't need to. The missions aren't like, oh, you gotta be in Babylonia. Like, pay attention to the master missions. They don't really, if I'm not mistaken, they don't require you to be in Babylonia, because the missions are like, oh, defeat like a super giant enemy, or oh, obtain like a shell of reminiscence or something like that. And by the way, you can get shells from the Okeanos node and not the Babylonia node. It's worse in Okeanos, but you can still do it. You're still not starting the Saber Wars 2 event yet, right? I don't play JP, so yeah, I reckon I won't start it for another 2 years, no. But no, I don't play JP. But yeah, the Camelot, or not Camelot, the Babylonia Master Missions, they don't require you to be in Babylonia, I'm pretty sure. Because the missions are stuff like I said, just farm a shell, farm a talent, farm this, farm that, or you know, beat this guy or that guy or something like that. And you can find those outside of Babylonia. So I don't think you should freak out. Like, pay attention to the actual master missions themselves. Go to your pull up your FGO account, fucking hit your master mission list, and then it should just tell you. Like, you should probably take a look at what you actually need to do, or what you're supposed to do before you come into someone else's stream and be like, oh my god, I'm not even at Babylonian yet. How am I supposed to do the Babylonian missions? Well, maybe if you learn how to read, maybe you'd figure out that you don't need to be there. But yes, just make sure you read it, and then freak out if you need to freak out. You have trouble extending your storage. Yeah, Yura. That's one of the most annoying things about boats. Honestly, it's one of the most annoying things about boats is that if you're free to play, dock expansion or dock space, just your main inventory space, is like one of the biggest issues you need to worry about. Because I think the game starts you off with only like 200 boat slots, which sounds like a lot, until you realize that because boats has a very generous SSR rate, and you know, just in general getting boats is, you know, relatively easy unless you start farming for, like, you know, unless you yeet yourself into the fox mines or some shit. Yeah, just acquiring boats is very easy. The problem comes when you get boats you want and you want to level them up, so you have to limit break them. Like, obviously, when you limit break some boats, or when you want to limit break some boats, but they're not high enough level yet, or you just don't have the resources to do it, like you don't have enough money to do it yet, you have to keep around some copies of them, you know, for when you're ready to limit break them. But because of that, you need to reserve some space for your extra copies and all those extra fucking bullets that you need to keep around. And because of that, 200 dock space is not a lot at all. Especially, excuse me, especially not when Azure Lane rapid fires out all these events where there's like new boats in literally every single fucking one of them. Or like, at least the banners. And then all of a sudden you're like, well shit, I have too many boats. But no, there's no easy way to expand them. Literally the only way to expand dock space is to buy extra. And there's no such thing as a you can't go over your inventory at all either, and not in this game. You can in FGO and you can in Girls Frontline, which is the game that I'm playing on the lower left, but not in boats. That's one of the main flaws about this game that I don't think is explained well enough. I don't even think I explained it very well either in my own boats video that I made, the one that's like almost 2 hours long. Thoughts on Space Ishtar? She'd be a big fucking deal if she weren't an Avenger, but other than that, she's cool, I guess. Dock space is a permanent upgrade, at least. It is, to be fair, yes. But the problem is that, again, you can only farm it, you can only buy it with gems. So if you're free to play, gems don't really come by all that often, to be honest. Like, they just don't. So, for the most part, only, like, you know, people who spend money, whether you be a dolphin or a whale or some shit, like, typically only those kinds of people have access to more dock space. Whereas free-to-plays kind of have to make do with what they have. Which is unfortunate. I think, honestly, all they really need to do to make it more fair is to enable, or to set like an alternate option to be able to buy more dock space with coin. Just make it really expensive, obviously. So that way, at least free-to-plays have a chance to regularly, you know, expand their dock, or yeah, expand their dock space. Like make it cost coin, or yeah, coin, because it doesn't really make much sense to make it cost oil. Any plans for Halloween? No. Sit here and be a fucking degen, that's what. Whale to 450, holy shit, that hurts money-wise? Go to 100k anyway. Because your max, even for me, my max cap is 70,000. So, for free-to-play, that's literally impossible. More like make it like 50k. I think that's reasonable. Because what? Because the thing is that you can actually farm, you can actually stockpile coin very easily in this game through like commissions and just doing your dailies, your daily missions and your daily quests every day. So that isn't hard. So I think 50k is a fair price for dock space expansion. I have plenty of ways to spend my money. Like, maybe if you're not interested in getting any more boats, like, let's say, for example, you have, like, a core fleet of, you have a core roster of boats that you just use, and you're not really interested in, getting any more, then yeah, sure, in your case, then yeah, you're probably gonna be swimming in fucking coins. But for most people, that's not how it is, at least that's not what I would think. Yeah, Yanqing, oof. Sashi Shin strikes again. Clear dock space by burning bullens. The purple bullens, I guess. If you really had to. Those are expendable because you get so many of them, like you said. But even then, it's like only having to only work with 200 is pretty monka estimate, to be honest. Either way. Yeah, builds are the ones that use accumulate. Yeah, that's that's why I mentioned like, oh, unless you're in a that's why I specifically mentioned unless you're in a situation where you're the kind of person who just once you have all the boats you want and you're literally not interested in getting any more. Then in that case, and well, I guess yeah, in that case you're not really gonna spend your coin on much else. So in that case, you're probably gonna be like fucking, you know, puking coins by that point. Good point. Stall after meching your main fleet. Yeah. So you must be one of those people that I talked about, where you know once you have a fleet that you're very comfortable with, and you don't that makes you not really feel like you should farm for or try to get other boats. Then by that point, it's like you're just sitting pretty. So that means you're just gonna fucking sit on mountains of coins because you don't really have much else to spend it on because Because literally, more boats means when you get more boats, that means you gotta get more gear for them. You gotta, you gotta upgrade them. You gotta level their skills, and so on and so forth. So, only having a small dedicated fleet of boats that you can rely on makes your life a lot easier in terms of expenditures, expenses, whatever you want to call them. Shit, I didn't even start this. Never enough coins. Yeah. I got collector's EX in this game too. Gotta catch them all. Fucking triggering myself out of my mind. You can't have that many coins saved? No, you can. No, you can, dude. You definitely can, Crazy Oza. I mean, just look at my stream. Actually, no, wait, you can't see it because it's cut off. So let me see if I can make OBS show this. Hopefully, I remember how to set my screen back, because I have to pull my scene like this. So you see how at the top it says max 70k. You can stockpile 50k coins, man. Anybody can do it. You might say, oh, but you're level 108 or something. I'm pretty sure even if you're like at a lower level, you can still stockpile 50k coins. So it's definitely possible. It's just, it might be hard to do because most people have a need to spend their coins on something, right? Whether it's upgrading boats or whatever. But you can definitely stockpile 50k coins if dock expansion is what you want, and if they happen to change it so that you can buy additional dock space with coins instead of just strictly gems. Anyways, I need to figure out like what the proper fucking formatting is for this for OBS. I think I have to start the battle because then it'll tell me if my cropping is good. Yeah, there we go. That should be good enough. Yeah, that should be good. I think the right side is a little bit off. Like that. At the bottom. Actually, that looks good, yeah. We can leave that. Is Azure as much of an money sink? Nah, Lord of Memes. This is not a money sink at all, which is great. I'm actually very comfortable with putting in $80 packs. It's actually very convenient too because just like FGO, Azure Lane's biggest packs are also $80, and they give you a lot of gems for it. And the biggest advantage in whaling in this game, Lord of Memes, is that almost everything in this game, with the one exception being the gacha, is that your purchases are always guaranteed. Like, all the skins are direct purchases. You don't have to deal with the fucking gacha for them like Girls Frontline makes you do. So the only gacha in this game is just the boat gacha. Now, to compensate for that, there is no pity system in this game. Unless you want to count like the rotating permanent SSRs in shop, but those are only limited to permanent SSRs and not limiteds. But yeah, this game is not a money sink at all. At least not compared to fucking FGO. You still can spend a lot of money on this game, to be fair, but you do at the very least, the one thing you can take away from it is that you know what you're getting, which we can't say about a lot of other mobile games. Yeah, exactly. Most of the income actually comes from the skins, because the live 2D skins are what, 1,100 gems or almost 1,200. I think their exact price is like 1180, and that's about $10. I could be wrong. It might be a little bit more. But hey, compared to how much the skin packages cost in fucking Girls Frontline, I'll take a skin for $10 any day of the fucking week. Thank you very much. But yes, don't feel, if you're coming from FGO, don't feel bad at all to spend money on Azure Lane. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I'll tell you that much. What's the thumbnail from, please? It's actually from the game. It's actually in the game. It's a loading screen in the game. You might see it a couple times whenever I'm loading into a battle. Wonder how much money the dude who married literally all the boats spent. Well, do the math. It's 600 gems times however many boats there are in this game, and then do the conversion. That's a LOL skin, to be fair. Yeah. What? How much is it? Like $10, $20? I mean, at least it's not a fucking gacha. That really makes it a bit harder to whale in gacha. It's actually pretty weird in that sense, yeah. It's as if Azure Lane only really wants you to whale for skins and such, and not actual gacha or whatever. It's a very counterintuitive gacha in that sense, because they don't want you buying hella oil either. Because if you try buying oil directly outside of like the special oil packs where you get like 2,000 oil for 120 gems, like if you try to buy oil directly, eventually it gets it gets progressively more expensive, and eventually the game will just lock you out of buying oil for that day like just outright. Like I think you can only buy oil directly from the oil tab up at the top, like up to 15 times, and then you're done. The game's just like, no, just stop. What are you doing? It's time to stop. Where are your parents? What about the ring packs? The ring packs are nice, obviously, if you plan on marrying more than one boat. And I believe it turns out to where each gem is about, let's say, about 30% cheaper, 25% cheaper. So it's definitely worth it. Is Monty good for mob clearing or boss killing? Both? That's kind of a weird question to ask in this game, because it's more like what synergies and what roles do boats have in this game. Though of course, there are definitely boats that are better at boss killing or trash clearing than others, to be fair. But Monty is one of those examples where I'm pretty sure she can do both. But the caveat is that you want her to be in a fleet full of cruisers, because one of her skills makes her increase have a chance to increase all cruisers in her fleet, like their firepower and shit. So ideally, you want her to be in a fleet with other cruisers too, and then she makes those cruisers perform better. And I believe including herself too, because she's a cruiser herself. If you farm quests too, you can get gacha rolls, right? So Lord, means this is how it works in Azure Lane. In order to roll a gacha, you need 2 resources, 3 if you want to go like above and beyond, I guess. But for the most part, at the core you need 2 coin and wisdom cubes. You can buy both of them directly with gems. And the game won't like prohibit you from farming. Like I don't think the game like puts a hard cap on you on like how many coins or how many gems you not gems, but how many cubes you can buy. But you need those 2. And to do a full multi-roll, you gotta which is basically a 10 roll in FGO. You gotta have 15,000 coins and 20 cubes, I believe. So for like a limited, if you want to roll a full 10 roll on like a limited banner or like a heavy or special construction. Light is a little bit different, where it only takes 1 cube and 600 coin per build. So for a full 10 roll on light construction, you only need like what 6,000 coin and like 10 cubes. So it's a lot cheaper that way. But most of the banners you want to roll on are like either special, heavy, maybe if you're just hunting for like specific boats, or like unlimited banners with like that come with events and such. So you can whale you can whale for those, and you get a lot of cubes just by doing commissions 24/7, dailies and stuff and such, going through story chapters and whatnot. Coins you also generate a lot of by doing daily quests, daily missions and such. So it takes time. It takes a little bit of time, but not as much as you think, to be able to build up a good stash. But that more applies to coins. It still takes a while to build up cubes, and you can blow it all in just one banner if you're unlucky, which kind of happened to me today. Who's your waifu in Azure Lane? Favorite waifu, Enterprise. Very first SSR, I think. You never forget your first SSR. Are the gem packs any worth? The ones that come with coins, quick finish. I don't know, actually. I've never bought one of those. I wouldn't know. Maybe they are. You have to ask someone who actually buys them to hear what they have to say about that. I'm not the best person to ask because I've never bought one of those. This is 1180. Yeah, should be the highest price for a live 2D and a background. It broken out the credit card too many times today. My first my first SSR was Sandy. My second SSR was Sandy, I think. I could be wrong. Maybe it could be the other way around, actually. Either way, I married both of them. I love my stupid idiot. She's adorable. You need to know where you got that thumbnail from? Again, like I said, Nerd Gaming. You've asked that question before, and I answered you then. It's from the game. It's a loading screen in the game. I believe if you check the Azure Lane NA Twitter, one of their more recent posts have the actual image because they implemented it recently. In fact, they probably put it in with this morning's patch. So yeah, you can go go find it on Twitter. Play Kanta. I know of Kanta. I'm not gonna play it though, because that game's gameplay is utter dog shit. Love the characters though. Characters are great. Some of them I even prefer over Azure Lanes, like Shigure's, for example. Shigure's and Yudachi's, but Azure Lanes are great too. But if you're telling me to go play that game, I think I'll pass. Must have checked out, so sorry. It's alright. Just go to Twitter. Just type in like NA Azure Lane or Azure Lane English or whatever, and go to their official Twitter post. And like I said, one of the more recent posts from earlier to this morning should have the sauces for the new loading screens they put in today, so you can find them there. Let me check my commissions real quick. I think we actually 3-star, or we cleared C1 then. Alright, commissions are back. Let's check our urgent ones real quick. So, oh, we got a lot of urgent ones, huh? So that one's coming back in 30 minutes. Okay. Okay. Onwards to C2. Okay, we need torps for this. In that case, wonder if I can just bring Ayanami and just be done with it. Oh yes, yes we can. I may have to manual the final boss fight though, but we'll see. Albert, shut off your Magatama drops. Don't worry, RMS. With the power of Farmville, we can overcome Albert's cuck beam. Give us our Magatamas, motherfucker. The Blu-ray skin just got revealed. Yeah, I saw on Twitter. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to get that because I can't really bring myself to buy like physical merchandise really much anymore. I could make an exception for Enterprise just so that I can get her skin, but I don't even know where to even buy it or how how to buy it at all. So, because I think the original tweet was in Japanese, and I'm not sure if it's like a JP only product or whatnot. Or, I don't know. Someone's gonna have to tell me what to do with that. Otherwise, that's gonna be a skin that I'm just gonna be like, well, really wish I had it, but you know. You don't mind the gameplay, but the fact that you can actually just straight out just lose them, yeah, that's the other thing too. And for someone like me who sometimes doesn't really pay attention much to what he's doing, and sometimes sometimes I have a bad habit of going into the Torp Daily mission, the ones that's on like Mondays and Thursdays and shit, and I go in there and I immediately forget that I'm doing that daily, so whoever I deployed there just gets fucking reamed by Torps, and I just look down to a game over screen. It's like, oh wait, shit. Oh, whoops, kind of forgot I threw them out there. Shouldn't have done that. So, if I were to do that with Kantai, oof. So yeah, not a fan of permadeath. Not a fan. Should you use an emulator or a phone? Either one's fine. Azure Lane, the devs for this game don't give a shit. Any thoughts on Space Ishtar? It would be great if she weren't an Avenger, but I know the code should work on NA too. It's just how am I gonna get them? I don't even know like the website to get the Blu-ray from or whatever. I don't even know what the Blu-ray is for. What is it, for Crosswave or the anime? Maybe Axe next year? Yeah, maybe. We'll hope. One can dream, I guess. Is it alright if you can attach PC to Oh, do you need my Tama for something? Okay, sure. I'll do that whenever I can. Assuming I even remember. Maestro, actually, just gonna let you know right now, since I'll probably forget about it when I have to get off the stream to go grab dinner in like a few hours. Ping me at the end of the stream if you're still around, and then that way I'll have the most chance to keep that in mind before I head out for dinner, and I can set that for you. Should be this one, but don't quote you on that. All right. Imagine whaling IRL to get a skin. I mean, it's not really whaling when you're just paying like a set price for one item. Now, let me tell you all about whaling. pulls out the VOD of my Tomolancer rolls. Now that's some wailing right there. Now that's a lot of damage. Don't mind me just getting my what's his name again? I don't know. I don't know the guy's name. But let me just get my best meme Billy Mays impression on. Now that's a lot of damage. Are you gonna upload a Whales on Hashlane? No. No. Not really. I don't even know what I'm gonna talk about there. I know my Tam is on in my all slot, yes. I know she's there. Did you get all the drop-only boats? Not all of them. Currently, I'm working on getting Columbia. I think I've spent like the past 2-3 months on 11.4 to no avail. So that sucks. Initially I thought that because Columbia is only a purple boat, I thought she was she could drop from like any fleet because that's normally how it is, at least in my experience. But apparently the wiki says she's a boss fleet only drop, which might explain why I haven't been able to get her for the past fucking 3 months. So yeah, still working on getting Columbia. So I guess technically Columbia's been my worst nightmare in terms of drop only boats. I guess that probably makes up for how fast I got both of the Foxes. But the FGO Memories book that has a lot of the CER work. You now know how shopaholics feel. Hey, don't worry, man. I bought the first 4 volumes of the Fate Grand Order material, which is basically like character servant concept design and for the game and whatnot. So you're not alone. You're not alone. You feel bad about Ultra 120 ships? You leveled them, now they're on the bench? I don't think you should feel bad about them. I'm doing the exact same thing. No, I'm doing the exact same thing. Though, to be fair, I have used, I did use Amagi, the Foxes, and Washington. I used them all a lot, even after getting the 120, just because they were so useful for me. And I didn't have a lot of other like great alternatives for them at the time. Now I do, so I'm not compelled to use them as much. But back in the day, back when I first got my first boats to 120, I still had to use them a lot afterwards. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I guess I don't feel as bad for not using them. But how many have you oathed so far? A good number, like maybe like 20 or so. 20, 25. I forget the exact count. I can go back and actually count. Honolulu, what did you like to play? Lulu took like maybe a week too for me too. I don't remember her giving me a hard time. Let me see here. How many boats have I gotten married? I think I've favorited all my boats. So let's see. Favorite ones. Okay, yeah. So these are all my married boats for sure, or the ones I will marry in the future, or I have plans to. So let's see. How many rows is this? How many in each row? 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Okay, so maybe a little bit more than 20. It's like fucking 30 or something. 30 fucking 5, or will be 35. The ones I currently don't have married at the moment are North Carolina, aka Yellow Hanakawa, Spaz 12, Pasta, and St. Louis. So those 4 I haven't married yet, but I will soon. Also, I am planning to marry Graf and what's her name again? Tirpitz? Is it Tirpitz or Tirpitz? Like Tyr. Whatever. Either way. But I will marry these 2 soon, TM. So I guess I should add them to my favorites now, I guess. Boop. And boop. Done. So that'll bring the number up to like 37 or something. Yeah, hopefully, Kaguya. I'm glad Amagi won. She needs a skin. Bad. You really need a job? Hey man, hopefully you can get one. Hopefully you can get one. You already have all the PR ships already? Yeah, I grinded for them pretty extensively. The one I went after the fastest was Monarch, because Monarch is by far my favorite out of PR1 batch. So I no life the shit out of her, and I got her as early as possible. But the other ones I just took my time with. But even then, even when I was quote unquote taking my time, I was still making sure to like optimize my XP gain. Like for example, I remember when I was farming for Rune, I was farming with Hipper, Deutschland, or however you say her name, and who's the third one? Spee. I used those three to farm for Rune XP, and I just maximized my XP with them by farming them by using them to farm event maps and such. So. Do you also get them to level 200? I tried to, yeah, I tried. Some of them aren't 200 yet, but I do try to make a point of getting them to 200. Who scares you the most, Rune, Taiho, or Akagi? None, because I married all three of them. Shit, I probably shouldn't have used the Ion for this, for trash clearing, but she should be fine. Should. 7-4 is the PR grinder soul. I actually grind PR XP for story chapters in chapter 10. What's in 7-4 actually? Because I think people were saying 7-2 was like the coin grinding map or coin grinding node. So what's in 7-4? Forget. 7-4 was, I know 6 drops poi. Which one was 7? I've gotta be forgetting somebody, I think. It's been a long time. Have it retrofitted? Nah, not all of them. Sandy Retro is killing you. Gold blueprints don't drop. Oh, hopefully you'll get some. I think this event has gold blueprints for farming. If you just climb the point ladder, point ladder should have some cruiser blueprints in them, don't they? I remember getting some, or like some of the lower tier ones. Has the most. Okay, the random nodes. Okay, that explains why. How soon are the blondie German girls? Hipper is fucking tsundere out of her ass. So that's for sure. Like, she doesn't break character at all. Like, even when you get her to love affection, she's still tsundere in her dialogue line for you. So she is weapons grade tsundere. The others, not as much, I don't think. Like Biscuit isn't. She's not tsundere. I don't. I'm trying to think of the other blonde German girls. I don't think the others are. Hipper's basically the one who's like super tsundere. At least I'm pretty sure. Might be another one though. How Pepe hands were you during Shirts of Iron and Blood? Is that the event where we got Bisco and who is it? And you, whatever her name is. Are you talking about that one? Because if so, no, I didn't really Pepe hands much. Because remember, I just skip all the fucking story. I just grind. No Haruna to nuke your flagship. Good old Haruna. Just being like, hey bitch! You like playing with fire? Door stuck! Door stuck! What other mobile games do you play pretty regularly? This FGO and Girls Frontline, which both Girls Frontline and Azure Lane I'm playing right now on stream. You can see them both. That new loading screen is more Monka-esque than the Hot Springs one. Yes, in its own very gotchi-gasm kind of manner. Who's a best tanned girl? I don't know if I've married any of them. Just a lot of plot on that screen. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Just don't open it in public. I mean, to be honest, I've played Azure Lane in public before, and I've had more than one situation. I've had more than a handful of situations where the Hot Springs loading screen pops up, and I just walk through a whole crowd of people, and nobody gives a shit. But then again, it might just be the area that I live in, where it's just like, whatever. I just don't give a shit if people see me play Azure Lane. If I want to play Azure Lane, I'll fucking play Azure Lane. But again, that might only be because, you know, I'm not in school anymore, and, you know, I have a job, I can do whatever I want for the most part. So, I guess it just depends on the person, right? Though I do agree that I saw quite a few people on Twitter earlier this morning be like, oh, like, can you at least put a function where we can turn off the more NSFW loading screens if we want? I do agree with that, at least. Like, I do feel like there needs to be some sort of function like that, you know, where if you want to play in public and you're not exactly comfortable with people seeing you with a phone that, you know, occasionally flashes huge anime titties at you for all the world to fucking see, then you should have that option. I do think that, you know, they should put that in. Are you getting for Warspit Retro? Dude, bro, I was born ready. I've already got 3 Warspit copies, and just sitting in my my storage right now. Just sitting, waiting. They're waiting. They're waiting. But yes, I'm looking forward to it. My Warspit is already 120. Best gear possible. Well, I can give her the best gear if I want to. But yes, I think I may have to manual this fight because I see Ayanami's taking a bit of damage from that first fight I sent them out to. Let's manual this. The sacrifices are ready. Are you getting ready for War Spirit level, or are you gonna level her when it's No, she's already 120 for me. She's already 120. Mostly play at home with where you have Wi-Fi. Yeah, which is where you probably should play it for the most part. But yeah, just saying it would be a nice idea. It would be a nice thing for the devs to do if they did make us so that, oh, you know, here's an option for if you want to play in public, you know, you can turn off the loading screen, so you don't have to deal with them, or you don't have to, you know, show people what you're fucking playing in your free time. Oof. Fat torp damage. Fat torp damage. Thick torp damage. That's what adults is like, yeah. Makes you really wonder, huh? Back in here. Oh shit, God, I can't. Gotta enhance! Zoom in! Enhance! Imagine. I wonder who I should level up. I wonder if I should level up her. Well, I already can. Like I said, I'm gonna try to work on a German sub fleet. I wonder how many German subs I have already leveled up to 100, other than the ones I'm already using. Probably not a lot, right? Oh, I have U81 actually. Try to enhance her to max. There we go. So she's the other one. I believe U81 is German because she's got the U notation. Check if anyone here needs more enhancement. I know Mikasa needs some. Sendai, I think, okay, she needs a bit more. Okay, you need more. There we go. You need more enhancements, so you're currently on missions. So. These girlies are all leveled up. I think Juno still needs. No, she's good. What about Fox now? Yeah, she's good. Then by this point, we'll just give him to somebody random. Okay, we're good. Let's see. Didn't I have 2 copies of Z19? Thought I had another one on top of this. Maybe I accidentally retired her. I'll probably pick up another copy at some point anyway. And then we gotta retire some of these. Yeah, because I already have them all maxed, little broken anyway. Don't matter much at this point. Okay. Back into it we go. Need T3 aux plates? Yeah, can never have enough of those, can we? Jesus. Hey, Blue Mafia, what's going on, man? Have I played Toho Cannonball yet? Nope. Not really interested in playing mobile games that are in Japanese, admittedly. Get U47? Maybe. Working on it. Kizuna is a boat? Yes. We had a collaboration with her, and yes. She's a boat. Not just one, but 4. Who was the unit you worked the most to get and level? And how proud do you feel? By far, actually, probably Amagi. Probably Amagi. Because I think she's the hardest work. She was definitely at one point the hardest working boat that I was using. Because for a stretch of about 6 or 7 months, she was my main fleet DPS, or fleet battle cruiser. And I still use her in my PvP fights. So. Yeah, probably Amagi. Now all they need to do is release an ultra rare retrofit for her, and I'll be happy. You didn't get the set the Catfisser for your hard run. Is there a reason? Catfisser? Oh, you mean like set a meow a Nyaficer, or what the fuck is their actual name? One of the you didn't set a cat. I didn't set a cat with my my hard mode fleet because I probably forget. I don't really pay attention to cats much. Like I don't understand their full gameplay value. So I'm sure they could be useful. It's just I don't understand them, so I just don't bother with them for the time being. Oh yeah, for next updates, for additional updates, you might just want to refer to the subreddit and just keep you know, and just tune in to people who play both versions, I guess, or who play other versions. But just keep in mind that the devs are willing to are not, you know, afraid to throw us curveballs every once in a while. I think I have some commissions to take care of. Not quite, but there is one that's gonna come back in 4 minutes. Do you play or look forward to any other gacha games? Nope. I mean, technically I have a Magia record account, but all I do is only just log in every day. I don't actually play it. What do I use to stream mobile games? OBS and Air Server. to buy an Azure Drama CD if it had skins in it. And yes, I did MP5 Set Master. Hey, Tricanthus, what's going on, man? What was the worst moment in the game for you? When I was rolling for, what's that one event with Sheffield in it? When I was trying to roll for Sheffield, but I got everybody else except Sheffield, and that blew my fucking mind. So yeah, that. Moving on to C3. Oh, actually, do it with the same exact team. Didn't actually mean to send Ionami's fleet there. Whoops. Am I also watching the Azure Lane anime at the moment? Not really. Have to manual this because I don't want Ionami to take damage, or not as much damage. Yeah, most of the Torps missed the cruisers, but that's okay, I guess. There we go. Who would you absolutely not mess with to the point where you would even cross to the other side of the street if you see Rune, Taiho, and Akaki? Again, repeating myself, I wouldn't care because I married all three of them. I'll admit, part of the appeal of Yandere is that I think not a lot of people share, I guess. For lack of a better term, is my desire to see yanderes when they're not yanderes, if that makes any sense. And besides, I know many more things more frightening than yanderes, to the point where yanderes don't really scare me anymore. One of them is looking at my statements after a very bad FGO run, or a bad FGO gotcha spree. That's scarier. How do you prevent oil from stacking up? You farm, baby. You farm. But no, seriously, if you can't farm, go to your dorm and just buy hella. What are those? The curries, the naval curries, the items that change seasonally. So right now they're like pumpkin somethings, but those you can buy a lot of those, and not only are they dorm food, but they also give you additional dorm XP for whoever you've got in dorm at the moment. So, and that's a very easy way of dumping oil, a lot of it at once, because the dorm food is like some of the few things that you can buy with oil and not coin. Tax is more frightening than yanderes. That is also true. Any equip recommendations for Monarch? Pretty sure you want to give her the 41 mil, 410 mils, the double-barreled. It's a gold gun. It's basically the fastest firing main gun, battleship main gun, right? Because it's got the fastest reload time, and Monarch has a really strong barrage. So ideally you want to make her proc that as many times as possible. So that's what I have on her, or that's what I would give her. Am I a collector with your gacha games? Yes. I have collector EX in all three of them. Yeah, the 1200 oil commission one is good too, because you get coins out of that. Taiho you worth using in a 1-1 fleet? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know the exact specifics to answer that. Like, I will say that her one of her skills is to is the chance to launch a special airstrike every like 20 seconds or so. So, I mean, I guess it could help with 1-1 fleets. I don't know. I do think that she's better off in an actual fleet though, and not a 1-1 fleet. I'm just using her here because I just want to level her up. You think we're saturated with gacha games? Even if we were, would they stop making them? Hey, Scarface will. Yep, it's a boat stream. Hey, this is an FGO, and so what if it isn't? What you gonna do about it, son? Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. Alright, I'm back. Miss playing Azure Lane? Yeah. I mean, it's a fun time. Each a fun time. Have you oathed the boat purely because of how much you used her, slash because of the stats? I think the closest to that would probably be Centaur, because I know Centaur is a light cruiser who's basically or not light cruiser, a light carrier who's basically a carrier in terms of offensive power. Um, she's probably the closest, but then again, I think she's still really cute. And being drawn by Tony is just a massive plus too. On top of that. The other one is probably Ayanami, but again, she's super cute, and I like to think I give her a lot of headpads. So. It's not exact. I wouldn't say purely because of how well they perform, but those two probably come the closest. But I do still like both of them a lot, you know, other than their stats. That one loading screen background is pretty spicy. Yeah, it's the one that people are complaining about a little bit. More like a lot, actually. Because it's a little bit, you know, too risque, if dare we say. Was that a lewd biscuit? Was that a lewd biscuit? Why, yes, it was. With absolutely thick bonkers. Biscuit with thick biscuits, if you know what I'm saying. I'd like to eat those biscuits. Complaining too explicit because, oh, what? But I play this game in public. I don't want people to judge me. Something along those lines. Will I stream COD again? Maybe. I don't know if I will anytime soon. We'll see, but... Those people are weak. Their sneak level is not high enough. They must train harder. Am I ready for PR batch 2? Absolutely. I mean, I'm already done with all the first batch, so yeah, sure, give me a second. I'm ready for him anytime. Alright, Squaz, thanks for watching, man. We'll see you next time. You guys are too fast. I only have one at dev level 30. I mean, technically, I only have one of my PR1 ships at dev level 32, and it's Monarch. So, if that makes you feel any better. The thick biscuit again. The thick biscuit. So thick. So fluffy. Absolute unit. PR season, will PR batch 1 go away once PR 2 comes out? I don't think so, but I'm not sure. I'm the wrong person to ask about that. I don't know. My assumption would be that no, they don't. PR1 doesn't go away, and you should be able to farm for 2, or for both of them. You know, once you're like finished with one batch, you can go on to the next one. But I don't know. Again, just to be safe, you might want to ask someone else about that. Thick biscuit fills your iron with blood. I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know if that one works. But the grind for Mama Frederick is gonna be real. I'm sure. I'm sure. I don't know who I like the most out of PR batch 2. So I'll probably go for Frederick just for gameplay memes too. Well, we'll see. We'll see what I decide to go with when they come out. Excuse me. Let me get my PvP fight done real quick. You can still build PR1 even after PR2 releases. Okay, yeah, that's good to know then. Yeah, I figured it wouldn't make any sense to like discontinue PR1 if once PR2 comes out, because PR1 is like either batch, like it's not easy grinding out 3 million XP, like no matter which PR batch you're talking about. So I would imagine like just, you know, dare I say casual players, it would be impossible for them to get all of the PR boats if PR2 comes out and you know, discontinues PR1. Wouldn't really make much sense. So. I'm a Vora server. I am a Vora server. If Sandy's server had come out at the beginning of the game, then I would have joined Sandy's server just for the memes. But I think Sandy's server got added like a good few months after the game started. So by that point, I probably wouldn't. I didn't want to switch servers all of a sudden just for a meme. Okay, then we're on the same server then, yeah. Alright, back to the event maps. Okay, gotta readjust. Okay, I need firepower and then AA. Huh, you know what that means. Okay, not enough firepower though. I wonder if switching Helena for Mogami would do the trick? Yeah, it does. Alright, cool. We can go with this. Oh, my last fight was against you? I didn't even notice. I wasn't paying attention, clearly. I don't really pay attention to, like, commander names, but hey, worked out. How do you even get to Season 2? You mean PR Batch 2? It hasn't even released yet, not on NA. These cats can give you additional stats. I'm aware, I just don't know how much. And I don't know. I just can't be asked to try to min-max cats too. I know people in the Discord that I'm a part of are min-maxing cats, but I haven't really seen the need yet. I think my first fleet has cats in them anyway, or has cats assigned to them. Are they good ones? I don't know. Probably not, but. You have all the PRs and they're all maxed. I have all the PRs, but only Monarch is fully maxed, including Fate Sim. The others, I'm still working on steadily getting them to Dev 30. Just kind of taking my time with them. Well, if it isn't Mr. Whale. Well, currently grinding first. Grinding comes before whaling in this game anyway. What happens if you get a Monarch BP once you finish Fate Sim? I actually don't know. That was basically meant for extra BPs. Okay. So I don't know what you would do with the BPs that you get after completing Fate Sim. I literally don't know. It's a lot of repair tools, yep. And I have more on top of that too, that I haven't leveled up anyway. Are you gonna farm quad mag torps? Not really. I have quite a few of them, and I'm just more comfortable using um, the regular quint torps and gold quint torps anyway. I think those are technically better than the gold homing torps. I think so anyway. I'm just more looking forward to getting a second copy of the homing rainbow torps instead, so I can put that on like Ibuki or somebody. Quint normals are better for alpha damage. Okay. Actually, Z Sunder, can you explain to me what people mean by alpha damage and whatever else for torps? Because I read that on like certain Azure Lane guides, especially for equipment, where you talk about, oh, these torps have like good or strong alpha damage or something. As someone who farms and plays this game as much as I do, I should probably actually figure out how these mechanics work, For manual, but for auto, the quad mag torps are the best. I feel like my boats actually perform better if I just give everybody the quint normals actually, because I've used the homing quads, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. Oh, burst damage. Okay, I know. Now that you say that, I know exactly what you mean. Basically, how much damage do they do if you just go right up to somebody and just hit the torp button? Just boop. Okay, now I get it. Literally explained it in one phrase. Got it. Okay. Basically, homing torps for farming purposes. Maybe I should go back to them. Gold quad mags do as much damage per torp as the rainbow ones. Wow, you learn something new every day. I'm gonna see how many quad. I'm gonna see how many quad torps I have. I know I have a few. And I typically don't scrap gold gear to begin with. Only like purples below. So whatever I managed to pull out of Iron Blood techs, I should still have around. Keyword being should. Never opened one quad in boxes. I know I've opened like maybe a couple, not a lot, but I have opened a couple, I think. Kind of curious why they refer to it as alpha damage. Every game's got like phrase like little lingo stuff that I don't know. I guess it just makes sense to people, I guess, now. Every game's got something like that, I feel. I guess it sounds cooler. Yes, let me check how many quad homing mags I have. Let's see, I know I have a few. Gear. Gold. Oh no, I don't. I must have not opened any of them then. Yeah, I don't see any gold ones. The purple ones are probably what I'm thinking about. I know for sure I have it equipped on somebody. The one I do have. Yeah, I've got a few of them actually. 4 of them. Okay, so I have 4 of them. And I have one set of Quint too, but I assume they're worse because each torp is like less damage or something. I don't know. So I already do have them equipped, yes. But yes, I know for a fact I have opened a few of them from Ironblood Techs, so they do exist, yes. I just haven't opened them in a while, so let me see. List of ASW equipment? No, this isn't what I want. Equipment. Whoops. Azure Lane. Yeah, Ironblood Techs do have a chance to give you gold homing torps. Not gonna lie, that Graph Life 2D is tempting you. Don't delay, buy today. I guess I didn't realize the boss fleet opened up. Maybe I still need to have cleared 5 fleets anyway. Later on, you want the Quint anyway. Huh. Okay. So basically, they're both good anyway, no matter what. No, I guess. If that's the case, maybe I should farm for quad mags. I'll talk with some other people, see how they feel about it, and then make my decision afterwards. We'll see. What main gun is Sandy using? Bell gun. The triple-barreled, what are they again? 153 millimeter? The gold one. I'm back. What you miss? Not really much. Just me, just farming him away. Did Sandy always shoot stars in her barrage? Nope. It's exclusive to her retro. If you want Sandy to shoot out fucking stars with their barrage, you gotta retrofit her. Limited retro Pepega phone. Yeah. The one downside with the ultra rare retrofits, gotta be there, cause it's practically an event. It's an event minus the event, aka limited. Hopefully they do rerun the ultra rare retrofit events though. I can't imagine why they wouldn't. Because that wouldn't be fair to people who just started playing or weren't in a position to retrofit her right away. And then again, you could have collected her mics if you were playing while her event was running, I guess. So you could save those mics until you were ready to retrofit her, I guess. So fell asleep. What you missed? Nothing. I almost fell asleep on stream too. Don't worry. But I'm fine now. I'm back. Wait, what? Yeah. In order to retrofit Sandy and then Warspit after her too, because she also follows us, I believe. There was a login event of some kind, or it was either a login event or you had to do something like some sort of puzzle quest or something, where if you did it every day for like maybe up to a week or maybe even 2 weeks, you had to reach some sort of threshold or milestone, where you would get a mic, and I think you needed 3 mics, or no, it was like something like that in order to get like a special item for Sandy that she needs to unlock her final retrofit stage. So, and if you don't have those mics, you can't retrofit her. 24-hour stream flashbacks. I know, right? Yeah, the 7th day you got the mic. Yeah, it was something like that, and then yeah, you literally use that microphone item to retrofit Sandy in her final retrofit stage, to change your border and CG and all that. So bit different from your usual retrofits where they don't need special items for that, but in the case of Sandy, and I assume Warspit is like this too in the future, they do. Really hoping they do rerun that. Yeah, I would imagine that that's something that they'll definitely rerun. I don't really agree with the idea, the whole concept of a limited retrofit. I think that's pretty dumb, given that you know, every other retrofit in the game you can do whenever you want, as long as they're, you know, implemented into the game. But then Sandy is like, well, you know, if you weren't playing while her retrofit event was going on, then fuck you, I guess. I don't play any others, Walt. Technically, I do have a Magia record account, but all I do with it is just log in every day, or I try to. I try to remember to. That's really about it. But I've dedicated myself fully to those 3 games: FGO, AL, and GFL. She became an idol. Yes, she became what you always wanted to be. How do you keep track of skills for your ships? Do you like write them down? No. I don't really keep track of them. I just level up whichever ones I want to, and I just level them up fully until they're maxed. Very rarely will I start leveling up a skill for one boat and then stop halfway through. Almost all the time, if I start leveling a skill on a boat, I keep leveling it until it's maxed. Very rare will I do it any other way. One of the few rare exceptions that I haven't done that was with, I believe, Iku, the sub, where I just didn't have enough attack textbooks to keep going at like a reasonable rate, so I stopped until I could gather up more textbooks. Then I went back to, and then once I had enough, I went back to feed her more tier 3 textbooks until she was done. So, since I do that, there's not much of a reason for me to keep track of skills, because once I start leveling a skill, I'll probably level it until it's max anyway. So I don't have to worry about it. Sounds like FGO welfares after the rerun, lol. Well, I mean, I guess, if you want to put it that way. Alright, Sai, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Which live 2D do you like the most? That's a hard question. Probably Taiho's? Probably? Because admittedly, Taiho's Live 2D was one of the very first skins that I ever saw, even before I started playing Azure Lane. Because I saw it on like Dan Boru and other places, and on Twitter and such. So I think it was, I think that was a thing before NA Azure Lane even came out, right? So yeah. So that's always kind of stuck with me, personally. You meant for fleet compositions though, like which skills would benefit each other? It's usually it's not a question of like which skills have synergy with other skills. It's more of a matter of like, oh, which skills makes this boat work well with other boats. It's more of a matter of like boat synergy than skill synergy, if that makes sense. And so because of that, you just kind of have to give yourself a mental footnote of like which boats are you know, what boat does what. Like for example, I used Monty as an example before, but Monty's skill makes her increase the performance of basically all the cruisers in her fleet that's with her, so which includes herself. So you want to put her in a fleet with other cruisers in it, right? So her skill gets the maximum benefit out of it, or you can get the most benefit out of using Monty's first skill, and so on and so forth. So. And of course, some skills are purely individual, and they only affect the boat themselves, the boat herself, and not others necessarily. They want ultra rare to mean a bit, I think. I mean, it already means a lot when it costs you fucking 60k coins and God knows how many retrofit blueprints. And not to mention all those fucking plates you need to use. but you know, you had issues with skills and their uses. I mean, the skills aren't like difficult to understand. I don't think. Just make sure you read them carefully and see what they and then see what they say, and then just act accordingly around them. Make the worst SSRs retro limited. I mean, if you put it that way, then those so-called worst SSRs then turn into some of the best SSRs. At least as far as I'm concerned, from what I've been able to read up on my own. But I still get you. I still think limited retrofits is still a dumb idea. Is it worth to play Girls Frontline now? Here's the thing, Wald. Games like just gacha games in general. If you want to play, you should. If you want to play a gacha game, you should probably start playing it as soon as possible. Because the truth of the matter is that gacha games like these. I mean, this probably applies to a lot of gacha games, just not just these three that I'm playing personally. But in the case of all three of these gacha games that I do play, FGO, Girls Frontline, Azure Lane, these games they favor seniority a lot. And what I mean by that is, the longer you've been playing these games, the better it is for you. In FGO, what that means is, if you've been playing since the beginning, you had access to, you had easier access, I should say, to like some of the rare 5-star craft instances, like Scope, which is the most notable thing. And not only that, but if you've been playing since the very beginning, you should have had access to all the welfare servants, so you don't need to worry about, oh, am I gonna miss this welfare, or am I gonna miss that welfare that other players who join later into the game's life cycle need to worry about, and so on and so forth. Girls Frontline and Azure Lane especially have this kind of seniority syndrome where the longer you've been playing, the much better of a position you are in. Though of course you can change that depending on how willing you are to grind to get your account more quickly stabilized and such. Both the games have that whole FGO issue of, oh, were you playing back when we had this event that you could get this limited unit for free or something like that, or not for free, or either that, or you could roll for so and so limited boat. And perhaps more than FGO actually, both Girls Frontline and Azure Lane have this issue where it kind of ties in with what I was mentioning with like grinding and such, but the earlier you start off, typically the longer you've been grinding than other players who join later. And so what that means is you have a much better account, a much more stabilized account that you can work with compared to others. And that's especially important because unlike FGO, where you can, farm embers and then just stuff them down like a servant's throat to get them to get them to instant max level, you can't really do that in Girls Frontline and Azure Lane. You can to a certain degree with Girls Frontline, actually you can, but it takes a lot, and by using combat reports, which is like an XP item. But you need a lot of them. It's not quite as easy as embers, because like total you only need like what, 400 or so embers, like around that number, maybe 200, anywhere from like 200 to 300 embers, maybe 400 if you're grailing somebody for like even an SSR servant. In Girls Frontline you need over 1,000, I think, combat reports to get any one gun from level 1 to straight to level 100. So, or it's something along the lines of that. It might not be like 1,000 proper, but it's a very high number regardless. Much more than like the Ember requirement anyway. So, because of that, because you can't level up units anywhere near as quickly as you can in FGO, that means you have to make up for the rest by like actual physical grinding. So, why am I using this for trash clearing? So, because of that, yeah, seniority is very highly valued in games like this. So, if you're asking yourself like, oh, should I start, Girls Frontline or Azure Lane? Chances are you probably should. Because if you want to ask, like, oh, is this a good time to get into the game? There are probably situations where, the answer is definitely more clear cut. It's like, oh, we have this event going on, and you can roll for this and this unit, so yeah, you should definitely play. But even without those events, the answer should always be yes, because just off the merit of the earlier you start, the better off you'll be. They're not that beginner friendly. Content-wise, no. Content-wise, no. Getting into the game and then learning figuring out what to do and such, I think that's pretty easy. But yeah, content-wise, they are definitely not friendly. I'll say that much. Girls Frontline is probably the least egregious example of this, because unlike FGO and Azure Lane, both of which who have like limited servants out the ass, whether they're welfare or not, Girls Frontline is a little bit better on this, because almost every new gun that they put into the game is added immediately into permanent gacha or permanent construction. So even if you join the game late, there's always a chance for you to be able to get guns that got released in the past, so long as they're not welfares. In fact, Girls Frontline is a little bit opposite of FGO, where every welfare gun that they've ever given out, with the exception of like monthly login dolls, or guns rather, are 5 stars, and some of them are extremely good, top tier even, dare I say. So those ones are the ones you gotta worry about, because you can't get them through construction. Guns like 5.7, DSR, Steyr AUG, who else? JS05, though most people don't really like it too much because she's not that good. M1887. Those guns, they're all welfare, they're all 5 stars. And so, because of that, you can't get them from construction. So, and afterwards, some events do rerun, but for the most part, your most reliable chance of picking up welfare guns that you weren't able to get with their original events has to be in other future events where they show up as farmable drops. And I believe it's a 0.8% chance to farm SSR guns with every run, or something like that. So, yeah. Still do your fair share of farming, that's for sure. But at the very least, Girls Frontline is the, I guess, quote-unquote friendliest of them all, as far as like previous content is concerned. So, let's see if Mogami and Hood can take on the boss ship, or the boss fleet. They should be able to. Keyword should. Keyword should. What about what do you think about Sakbei for can I just call her Jenny? for Jenny? Huh. It's a good skin. I like it. I liked it enough that I bought it. Well, normally I wouldn't have bought something like that for Jenny. I'm gonna be completely honest. I mean, hopefully it incentivizes people to use her a little bit more, right? Even if as boats they're not that great. At least I don't really hear much about them personally. Why is my Hood going for Jenny and not Sharnhost? Lemon guns do get reruns. Well, yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier, Zero. That either their original events themselves get actual reruns, or shit. Yeah, having a carrier here is better, because that way they attack both the attack Taiho attacks both carriers or both battleships at once. I gotta manual this because otherwise Hood's just gonna keep aiming at Jenny up top. Oops, why did my aim go further forward? It's not helping that Hood wasn't proccing her barrages either. Hood Pepe laugh. Hey, don't diss the OG barrager. Don't bully Media, okay? Otherwise, I'll go. Anyways, I think that's actually gonna do it for me, guys. I said this was gonna be a short stream, and I'm kind of hungry, so I want to go grab some dinner and take care of a few things before moving on. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me on a chill boats day. I know I don't usually stream boats because usually just have Geo, but I just felt like I didn't stream boats in a while, so wanted to do that. Before we go, let's do one last multi-roll for U47 because I haven't gotten her yet, and I'm kind of triggered that I haven't. What kind of? We'll just do this. Why not? So I'm just gonna do a rage roll on this. What is this? I got you, whatever your name is. Cool, thanks. So let's do a rage roll on this because I'm triggered and I want U47. U47 doko. Oof. There's the third dupe. Alright, U47 not here today. We'll try again tomorrow. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys next time.